Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, magnificent, unique personality and individual you. Today, I would like to speak about, and especially today, because it is so prominent, the etheric flow of the sun. Or, shall we say, the life force flowing from the sun to the earth. Also, shining from within the earth. And so on. It is kind of connected that way. When you're living in a place where in the majority of the year it is actually dark, literally dark. When the summer comes and, well, as you can see on my title, Esoteric Scholar of the Midnight Sun, I'm living in a place where in the whole summer everything is constantly bright. Constantly light out. One gets very acquainted with the feelings of flow of life and the etheric when you live in such conditions, because you become extra aware of it because of your atmosphere and your surroundings, your area of life, area where you live, obviously. Now, this was just to point out why to me it is so prominent and clear. So, in winter time, in the fall, it is a certain time of a solemn feeling where the life is slowly but surely ebbing away and the snow is covering this earth, or it otherwise becomes a barren wasteland where there otherwise is not snow, and so on. That is the winter. The sleeping, it is sleeping. The life force of the plants retreats into the astral world, so the archetypal plant and the life of the plant can still be perceived within us. It retreats within our own being. In the summer, this is beautiful. When the sun comes out and you feel that etheric force shining down, the warmth and the life that you feel sensation from the sun, you get this feeling that what was inside you in the winter time, that you kept alive within your own etheric body, is now starting to spread out in the outer world, where you can see the tableau of the whole spiritual etheric outside in the world. It is just quite magnificent and beautiful. By, well, entertaining and immersing yourself in these types of thinking, in creative, symbolic thinking that also brings reality to it, where you truly can start to feel and sense the spiritual behind everything, is when you truly can, well, use your own inner faculties here and now to think with, to focus and have intentions and aspiration towards certain areas of life. It is about inner choice. Yes, the outer materialistic life. We need everything an animal needs to survive. Shelter, food, all of these things. But in the spiritual, within you, in your thinking, feeling and willing, you have freedom. You have freedom to choose to unfold and cultivate love, morality, dignity and integrity, compassion, empathy, everything that, well, the higher hierarchy would be perceived as. Of course, we cannot even start to comprehend how magnificent they are in our physical words alone. The language is not fit to do so yet, other than to, well, if you listen to the ancient Vedic songs and so on, and you translate them to English, although it is not nowhere near close to the original, the pictures and the devotional references and devotional feelings they have to their beings gives you goosebumps. Now, to both have devotion and reverence, and at the same time also a certain awareness. You are not a puppet on a string where you are being led by the divine in that regard. But I am just going to use funny pictures here. We choose to be, this is not reality, don't get me wrong, but it is the concept. You choose to become God's glove. You choose to, hey God, put me on. And you in freedom, in conscious freedom, are starting to live by that. You do not lose yourself in the religion or in the specific practice you do so that you are fully and utterly identified with it. No, you are a human being still. And as it says in the Bible also, why are you looking for me in the Bible, in the scriptures, come to me directly. I am here. That is what is meant with these sentences. Try to find me from your own inner being. Your own inner strengths, and how we slowly but surely cultivate the ability to try to connect again. They wish for us to connect. They do miss us. The higher hierarchy do miss us, and the diversion of the path which was necessary to build freedom within our own being, to choose good instead of, well, just following on along good, is the difference. By us knowing truly, without it, we were to lose the concept of reincarnation, to believe that this is the only life we do have. And because of it, we cultivate what is choice. Because we do believe we only have this life. Now, we are now meant to awaken into reincarnation again. Remind yourself every day, this is not my first rodeo. This is not my first life here. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh, how many lifetimes you have lived. Believe me when I say that. And we have so many sleeping faculties within us from past lives that we are now meant to again put up to the surface. To cultivate what is within our soul so that we can see the world differently. If we see the world outside passively, with only our passive senses in mind, we will only see happenings of materialistic movements. But the thing is, there is something moving it. There is spiritual facts behind the physical results. That is what I meant. I almost forgot that one. Spiritual facts behind the physical results. So when you see these physical things, it has become that way through spiritual means. And it is up to us and find out how this thing fits together, how objective but also loving can we be. Remember, we are a microcosm in a macrocosm, so excluding the human being and yourself in your development is just bonkers. We need to include the human being in everything we study, because we are the human being that studies it through human. We can't exclude that. That would just be speculation, because we don't know what it is to be outside of that, you see? No matter how much we believe that is objectivity, it is not. True objectivity is including yourself in this cosmos and finding out how we truly are microcosms in the macrocosm, and how we develop and where we are to go. And every single human being is individual, and we are meant to cultivate this individuality. We're not meant to become automatons. We're not meant to become robots in differentiated groups of human beings, group souls. We are every single individual human being become awake, aware, so that we can again connect in wholeness, individually, like an ocean of glittering rainbows. And every single drop in that ocean is uniquely tinged and colored and have a unique sound and tone to them. But it is still a whole ocean, but every drop has their own tinge. And we choose in freedom this. Now that this reality that I am now trying to uphold here as a concept is in the future. It is something we cultivate towards here and now. And the more you redeem, purify and ennoble your own soul, spirit and body, Your physical body, your etheric body, life body, your astral body, that means longing, passions, dreams, and movements and so on, the more you become spiritual. And with your ego, you as I am, I use different practices and meditation techniques and reflections to, well, purify my physical body, purify my etheric body, life body, purify my astral body. That means our intentions, our way of life, our interests, and our focus is completely shifted to different areas of what otherwise would be normal for us. That is the change you go through when you are choosing the spiritual path. But the spiritual path is extremely broad and you can learn from almost anything in everyday life. So be observant, be curious, be wondrous, but have that feeling of spirit and soul behind it all. So when you see me now, I am not only this physical body, I am also the etheric body, which brings me this form and also includes me in a certain country and a people and a family, but also the astral, where I uniquely have my own interests and uniquely have my longings and passions and so on. It is all about finding out what is universal to human being and what is uniquely you at the same time. It is that balance in between there, that wonderful, wonderful center. It is literally the balance between your left and right brain, and not choosing one or the other because it is easy. You balance them both out in true balance. There are so many reflections of the threefold nature of the spiritual human being, even out in nature. But nature passively observed, without truly looking for that threefold nature, will only be a dualism, because it is the dissolving and the hardening, and the balance in between there is the human being, the ego, the I am, and your ego has grabbed a hold of that balance. Without that balance you fall away, you lose your I am to one of these two extremes. You will not be able to see that you are in an extreme either, because you believe this is to be right, but Ahriman and Lucifer are super clever when it comes to hiding themselves. They don't wish to be found, they don't wish to be seen, they don't wish to be discovered in their scheming and in their agenda making and so on. Lucifer in his frivolity and egotism, super egotism, and Ahriman in his super conservative, overly cold detachedness, Philistinism, the balance between frivolity and Philistinism, soft and hard, positive and negative. You see, we are not either positive and negative, we are in between there and holding that in balance. If life were about being happy, constantly, we all would be happy. But we are not, because life is not about being happy all the time. You see, once you have been happy for a while, the pendulum swing will go over to the other side too. You see? But staying in balance and enjoying whatever comes up in true objective perception. Honoring and have compassion for all that comes within your soul, and to observe what is less than favorable to yourself and to those around you. So, yeah, I think this was everything. Thank you so much for listening to me. I've had a lot of good inspirations lately, and I just feel a smile when I feel that they give me that much responsibility, to be able to speak about certain topics and certain realities that I actually truly live by. And as we should individually choose, what should we live by? What should you live by? What is your true morality and love within there? And how close can you come to it? How much can you get to understand things? We do not willy-nilly just say, Everyone is worth the same in God's eye, that's it. No, you see, in the physical, materialistic world of things, we do have beings that are leaning hard to one side and others leaning hard to the other side. None of these will ever be satisfied, ever. The middle is true. It's stable. You become stable within change. You become stable within awareness. You anchoring yourself in the present moment, and you feel both the extremes, and you are tempted by neither. Because the Christ is the middle way, the narrow path. And I will leave you with this today. Thank you so much. May Father, Holy Spirit, Christ Jesus, Michael, and the hierarchy, all the 7 planetary archangels, our ancestors of all, and the ancient masters, protect, guide, bless, love you, and may you find your unique, wonderful individual path towards union of all individuals, towards whole. In the name of love, Philadelphia. You're freaking awesome. Remember that. I love you. Goodbye.